Alright, so with this one the title pretty much says it all. It's a movie about fatherhood. And we follow this guy played by Kevin Hart who unexpectedly becomes a single father of a newborn baby. And we then of course get to see him attempting to navigate this situation he finds himself in. How will he deal with it all? Is the pressure gonna be too much, and is he actually up for the challenge? And well, I would say that the movie pretty much went as expected. It didn't really offer that many surprises. It didn't really throw you any curveballs and didn't really bring any crazy twists either. This is more or less your bog standard comedic drama, which isn't necessarily a bad thing. In fact, in this case it's not bad at all, because the movie is pretty solid. Now, I wouldn't say it does anything amazingly well, and as I mentioned, there are basically no surprises here. But it does what it set out to do well enough to deliver exactly what it needed to. And what it delivers is a somewhat funny and adequately compelling movie. Because I feel like what it lacks in originality, style, and interesting creative choices, it makes up for with a decent amount of funny dialogue and a number of heartfelt moments. In fact, I think the core of the movie works because it feels genuinely sincere. But at the same time, it doesn't want to be just another drama that takes itself and the subject matter too seriously. So it brings in a lot of humor, to the point that a few times it actually felt like it overdid it. It didn't always strike the perfect balance, but for the most part it handled it well. And despite a few missteps, it never felt insincere, and I think a lot of that had to do with the central performance. Because Kevin Hart did a great job here. I expected him to be decent, but he was more than that. I mean, I'm a fan of the guy. I thought his early stand-up specials were really funny. And the guy is just naturally funny. It's something about his delivery that can make basically any scene funny, and he makes it look effortless. But that was all to be expected, and I'm not sure I've even seen him in a drama before. But he completely sold me on the more dramatic stuff here as well. I was very impressed, and the guy can actually genuinely act and apparently has a lot of range. And I guess I should have expected that, considering he just seems like an all-around talented guy. But you know, sometimes people are just good at one specific niche when it comes to acting. But yeah, anyway, he impressed me in this, and I think his performance basically elevated the whole movie. And while the movie is somewhat funny, it feels heartfelt and sweet too. Now, when it comes to the direction and the editing, it's just fine, it's solid, it works. There's really nothing fancy or interesting going on there, but it's not really a problem either. The movie in general does also have that overproduced look and feel to it that's kind of hard to shake. I don't even know what to call it or how to describe it, but you pretty much know it when you see it. Everything just looks too crisp and too clean and a bit too staged and thought out, and every scene is just very evenly lit. There's just no character or dynamics to the image, no grit or anything when it comes to the production design either. And that to me just feels a bit bland and boring, but is it a huge issue? Not really. It would be if the rest of the movie was also bland and boring, but fortunately it's a step above that. And yeah, I generally liked this one and didn't really have any major issues with it. So I'm kinda leaning toward giving this one a solid 6. Boop. However, would I recommend it? If it sounds interesting, you'll probably enjoy it. And if it doesn't, I'd say it's pretty safe to skip, so it's really up to you, and after all, I'm not your dad. But hey, what are your thoughts on this? Have you seen it? Did you like it? Let me know. And if you enjoyed the video, maybe give it a thumbs up or sub to the channel, because that would be fantastic.